Hello whisky fans, Ralphie here on location, celebrating 1,000 reviews from 2009 to 2023. And while I've been buying all these bottles of whisky and reviewing them over 14 years, I've also been keeping a very close eye on rum. In fact, so much so that for several years I've been going to the annual Rum Festival, which takes place down in London, and really broadening my horizons, because for me personally, rum is my first go-to alternative to whisky. Now, I'm here in the Good Spirits Company in Glasgow, and I'm going to recommend that when you're buying spirits, try and build a good rapport and recognise the companies that have the expertise, that have informed, experienced members of staff who are able to direct you and guide you when you're coming across brands with which you are not familiar. It is really, really helpful. You don't get this in a supermarket. You don't get this in the tourist trap shops selling the tartan sort of hang downs and stuffed Highland cows and all the rest of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a few bottles of rum off the shelf, introduce them to you, and to speak a little bit about them. These, by the way, are the rums that catch my attention, but I might add that the manager here at Good Spirits Company, Peter, and I have just had a conversation, and he's pointed out a few really interesting bottles, and one of them, in fact, is an independent bottling by the Good Spirits Company, which I'll certainly be buying a bottle, and I tell you, Peter's doing a great job here selling the stuff, I have to say. So I'm going to start here at the top shelf with a recognisable brand for whisky drinkers, and that's Foursquare, which is from Barbados. And you do see the cask strength special collector styles of rums, but it's worth keeping in mind that in terms of value for money and first introducing yourself as a whisky drinker to rums, keep an eye out for here's one, £75.50, but it's 14-year-old Dourley's, and Dourley's is one of the Foursquare rum distillery brands. Of course, it's based in Barbados, so you get that spicy South Caribbean, still considered part of the Caribbean, although Barbados lies south of the Caribbean island chain. And it's nicely presented without being over the top, and it's bottled at 48%. So now you want to avoid 40% bottlings of rum, because it's been brought down, and as the weaker it gets, the less flavour for sipping, right? So you've got the 14-year-old, and you've got another one to consider is the white rum. People overlook white rum and presuming that it's just not been matured, but when white rum is rested, particularly when it's well made, you can get an amazing complexity and drama and theatre in the spirit. And I'm going to now show you another bottle which really delivers that, and that is the Rivers from Granada. I first encountered this rum at the London Rum Festival about 6 years ago, when it was completely unknown and £30 a bottle. I reviewed it. It's high strength, 69%, and I have to advise you the price has gone up. Just be aware of that. It's now £85 a bottle, but it's really good, authentic, amazing white rum. But it is expensive. Hey, I'm keeping you right. A rum which is one brand that has been a perennial favourite of mine over the years has been from Haiti, and it's Barbancourt. It's one of the most authentic and amazing rums you find from the Caribbean. It's a French family that own it, and they produce their rum, column stills from Agricole Spirit. You may be more familiar with Clairon, which is the kind of high ester Haitian rum. Great variety there, never boring. This is 15-year-old Barbancourt rum. It's very, very good. The younger generation of the family have taken over this distillery, and they're upgrading the quality of the spirits, and I think they're doing a really good job. This is £59.50 a bottle. It's 15-year-old, and that means 15. That is really, really good value. This, by the way, is seriously Ralphie recommended, and it's bottled at quick glance, quick check. Have to open the packet. I can't see someone's opened it before me and they've gone and ripped the top. Here we go. I'll be with you in a minute. I just want to see the strength of the bottling here. 43%. 43%. Matured, it used to be matured exclusively in ex-cognac casks. Now they're mixing up the casks a wee bit to try and maintain continuity of quality. So you're getting cognac cask, French oak casks, and they're using fresh virgin oak casks. Primarily European oak, very interesting brand. If you're looking for alternatives, do consider this. Next to it, at a cheaper price, £35 a bottle, J. Bailey from Martinique. This is the French style of rum that I'm becoming more aware of and getting more into, because I'm very familiar with the British style of molasses rum. This is bottled at 45%. That is a good sign. As soon as you see rum producers upping the strength in their bottling, they are catering what they're bottling towards the sippers rather than the mixologists.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Modern rum. This is a British rum, bottled at 40%. If you're doing some mixing, if you're doing some cocktails or whatever, this is well worth considering. It's a decent price. It's one of the cheapest bottles on the shelf, £27.50, and it's well made. Another rum that particularly, if you're Laphroaig fans, if you're heavily peated fans and you're looking for the rum equivalent, the brand you're looking for is Hamden from Jamaica, which is very estery. Now there's two bottles here. I'm going to lift this one up. It's £87 a bottle, so the price isn't really on a par with Scotch whisky. However, it is bottled at 60%. And this is the HLCF Classic. Now you see this coding going on here. I'm going to explain this coding to you, because when you go to a specialist liquor shop, they're simply in a position, because they have the resources to provide you with more information than you could possibly get at travel retail or some of the tourist trap shops. So here we have the range of Hamden rums according to how estery they get. So the HLCF is somewhere in the middle. Excuse me a second. Excuse me, Peter, what does HLCF stand for?
Hamden Light Continental Flavour.
Thank you very much, Peter. HLCF, Hamden Light Continental Flavour. So we're breaking the code for you here. If you want the lighter Hamdens, you're looking for the OWH, LFCH, and if you're really looking for something that's absolutely bonkers and industrial and nearly unpalatable, you're looking for the DOK, right? So the DOK is actually used for flavouring raisins in rum and raisin ice cream and confectionery. This is where you get huge rum flavour and not a lot of alcohol. It's also exported to Germany, where they mix it with their own spirit because there's that much flavour in it. So there we have it. It's specialist shops that have this information because they receive it in the promotional packs that they are given by the producers so that they can be informed to inform you, just so as you know. What else are we looking at? Well, I'm going to give a wee plug. See the specialist retailers. always be sure to ask what they themselves are bottling, because some of the best bang for your buck experiences that you'll ever come across are from completely unknown brands that nobody knows about, that just suddenly appear and there's no advertising. Here's a classic example. This is a Good Spirits Company bottling, and I'm going to be buying a bottle of this because it's such good value. It is 29-year-old single cask French brandy. It is early landed, late bottled, and it's bottled at 46.4%. This is in fact cognac that cannot be called cognac because it doesn't fulfill the cognac requirement to be called cognac. So it's the knowledge. You see, when you've got the knowledge, it's very empowering. You know what you're looking at. So you've got 29-year-old cognac bottled at a higher strength than most cognacs. How much do you think this is a bottle? I'll tell you. £87.50. £87.50. This is why I recommend, before you buy anything, really do your research. It saves you wasting money, it saves you disappointment, and importantly, it just opens the world of quality spirits up for you in discovering exciting new things, new bottlings, new flavours that you don't even know exist. Now, I've been around whiskey a long time. I didn't know this existed. I'm buying a bottle. Absolutely. And I'm buying a bottle of Barbancourt. You've also got, here's another one, Scottish whisky independent bottlers are also increasingly bottling rum. Thompson Brothers do it. Dramore are doing it. There's quite a number of out there. Kill Devil is another brand. This is Clarendon Jamaican 12-year-old rum, full cask strength. Because many of the official bottlings coming out of rum distilleries, they never offer them at full cask strength. They simply don't bottle for sippers because, to be honest, with many of the rum distilleries, they don't even know that rum sippers exist because the culture is so much about mixology, mixing it in cocktails, and that's the fact of it. It's a treasure trove around here. I don't think there's anything much more I want to add. There's so many bottles on the shelf. Have a good browse, go online, have your mobile device with you so you can do your own wee bit of research, but always ask the staff, the most informed staff, the most educated staff you will find at the most specialist and reputable retailers wherever they may be. When you walk into a specialist liquor shop, and I'm talking about USA at the moment, and they're just in the hard pump cell, call them out and then walk out. Don't give them your business, because if you do, you're just encouraging them. In Britain, we're very fortunate with the range of specialist liquor retailers that they are doing things old school, old fashioned. It really works, and I want to let you know so they're appreciated. It's not just the Good Spirits Company, it's all of the specialist retailers throughout the UK that are not big corporate brand. There you have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this informative and useful. And if you're going to be at Glasgow's Whisky Festival on Saturday the 11th of November, do stop me, do say hello, and tell me what you recommend I should be trying off all these tables from small distilleries and independent bottlers that are going to be displaying and pouring at the festival. And thank you very much for your time. Cheers.